I spent a lot of my childhood here on top of this hill because I live right across the road and my family has owned this land for a long time. My great grandparents lived here until 2005 when their house caught on fire and was deemed uninhabitable. My great grandfather was a major hoarder. He kept everything from old school buses and semi trailers to those bottles that negatives used to come in. When he died in 2009, the city of Bloomington told my grandfather that the place was too messy and bothersome to the community, so they began the project to clean it up. It's been 8 years, and it had so much stuff, it's still being worked on today. One time, when I was about 11, my grandfather brought his motorhome and parked it on the property for about 2 months and stayed there with my grandma, and almost every day, me and my cousins would take hikes and collect whatever old and worthless things we thought were cool. I once found an old hatchet there that my brother still likes to use when he goes camping. 3 nights a week, we would have a campfire and go over to spend time with my grandma while my dad and grandfather finished work for the day. This property is actually very large. It spreads out several kilometers in the woods, and there's 2 hidden ponds somewhere in there, though I've only been to one of them. These woods are filled with different kinds of foliage as well. I've been mushroom and persimmon hunting throughout the place, and my mom likes to go and pick the wild peonies that grow there. It's almost eerie when you walk throughout the place. It kind of looks like one of those haunted yards you see in scary movies, especially with the old and rusty remains of my great-grandfather's hoarding. I took these pictures while it was raining, which made it really peaceful and perfect for getting a feel of how closed off and kind of majestic it can be. You can't really taste anything except for the rain, which feels refreshing on my face, especially after a long day at school. It makes the trees look greener and my socks feel wet as I walk throughout the muddy ground. Right now, I can hear the wind and the sound of rain falling on the leaves, along with the occasional patter of paws because my stubborn cat followed me when I specifically told her not to. It's also relaxing to hear your own footsteps, even if it sounds mushy from the mud. Besides old semi-trailers, I can see trees throughout my line of sight, and since it's fall, they have taken on a more autumn-like color scheme that goes along beautifully with the misty rain. Remains from my great-grandparents' house still stand here, along with an old barn that my dad used to play basketball at because there's an old basketball hoop attached to it. It's also cool because there's a secret loft I never knew about until I began searching. It's really interesting to see the weight time has bared on this place. This land is not only historical to Bloomington, but holds a piece of my history with it as well. That's why it's my choice for this project and will always reserve a place in my good memories.